Hey, Sheryl Crow's.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, introduce me.
Sheryl Crow walks in just a moment right before we turned the microphones on. We were talking about best movies ever.
Sound of Music,
and
hands
Sound
down.
of Music is one of my greatest date nights. Whenever my wife and I first started dating, was to go and see The Sound of Music.
Wow.
And we thought we were going to see it as a play.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
It was
we
the
pulled
actual
up and
movie.
it was a movie.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. It was
Nothing
great.
can compare to the movie. I'm sorry.
It's good. The best ever.
Sound of Music is
You're
great.
wrong.
What about Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, that's in my top 5.
Yeah, that's
in
really
my top
good.
5. Yeah.
Top Gun.
Top Gun?
What are you talking about?
Dude,
That's such a dude film.
It was.
Dude, I am
How is that
dude,
how is that
that's
a
in
dude
the
film?
top
There's that volleyball scene. You got the Take My Breath Away stuff. That's not dude stuff.
Take my breath away. No.
What about 12 Angry Men?
12 Angry No.
You a fan of Citizen Kane?
No.
Citizen Kane? No.
I'm just kind of going. I have a list. I'm
I've
going
never
through
seen Citizen
Toy
Kane.
Story.
Toy Story. No, if I'm gonna go animated, it's either gonna be The Incredibles or Up. Two amazing
really good.
films.
Up got me like 2 or 3 times in that movie
Yeah.
where I
I
cried.
know.
Oh, I wasn't 10
'Cause you're
minutes
sensitive. You're
10
sensitive.
minutes into Up, they try to make you cry.
I
And
know.
was, oh,
And they
I'm done
do
with
it.
that. I don't wanna-
Admit it. They do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Toy
Yeah.
Story 2 was a cry fest also.
Toy Story 3 pissed me off.
Why? What did they do? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
because
remember.
they're all these cute little characters are heading towards their death, and your kids are like, Mom. I'm like, yeah, this is
A little dark.
BS.
yeah, this is bull trout.
BS.
This is bull trout.
There's a lot of great movies that you go back and you watch. Like I watched E.T. I wanted to watch it with the kids.
That's a great movie.
It's slow.
Oh,
It's really
Yeah.
Stuff doesn't hold
slow.
up.
A lot of
Okay.
that stuff is slow.
I watched
I
Weekend at
showed-
Bernie's with my kids and they loved it.
they did. How old are they? 4 and
teenagers.
7. What?
Yes, they thought it was great.
That's right.
They cried the entire time.
I showed my kids what's the Back to the Future because I was like, every kid needs to see Back
Yes,
to the Future.
right?
Mm-hmm.
PG. It was PG.
Yeah.
like 35 years ago. And I'm thinking PG 35 years ago.
Nope.
I mean, the first 5 minutes they covered every bad word with the exception of the F word.
Yeah.
My kids were just looking at me like with eyeball retina socket. Just like
Right.
Yeah.
what's happening here?
Yeah,
Mom?
no, PG back in the day was like our
It's like R
almost
now.
Almost are.
like a PG-13.
I learned my
It
lesson.
was better back then.
No, like
No.
PG-13 back in the day would totally get R ratings.
Weekend at Bernie's is PG, and there's a scene where Bernie.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
There's-
Yes.
You can't say it. You can't even say it on
Right, you
radio.
can't even do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's
there's
just
so
say
much
rigor
wrong.
mortis played an important role in that scene.
Yes, and you're like, well, you know
If you
what?
don't get that joke, I can't help you.
I was like, cover your eyes, son. Cover your eyes.
That's gross, Patrick. I didn't need to hear that.
That is gross. Wow. Way to
I
take
was-
it all the way
Yeah.
down.
I didn't know what was going on, and
so
then I
Patrick's
knew.
that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, by
He's
the way,
that guy.
thanks for coming in to talk about movies with us, Sheryl.
Yeah, I thought that's what you guys did.
Yeah, you're coming in once a week, and you'll tell us the movies that are coming out for the
I'm
weekend.
the film critic.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
what
your
you do.
Christmas tree. I can't
Thank
lie
you.
to you. It
Well-
freaked me out at first because I was like, oh my gosh, where did I lose some months?
Well, it is still up, but it's also up early.
Yeah, it's up early.
for this next
At
Christmas.
this point, it's practically early.
That
and
was the
not
point.
late.
Like we got to February and went, you know what? Let's just leave it
Let's
up all
just
year.
leave it up.
I think there was an idea that we had of because listeners are going, oh, well, you could decorate it. You can make it a spring tree.
No, you
It can
can't.
be a 4th of July tree.
No, you can't.
You can.
you can, but
we're
you can't
not.
be lazy.
And I mean, it's not going to be
You
us.
can if you're Martha Stewart, but
Right.
none of you give me the impression that you're even
Really?
remotely.
That's right.
That's sad because I basically am Martha
Carson
Stewart,
can pull all that
you know?
off.
Carson.
I've done it. It's a lot of work. I did a year where I did St. Patrick's trees and Valentine's
Oh,
trees
you
and Easter
did?
trees. It was a lot of work. And
That
for
is-
just me living alone, kind of sad.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Little
You couldn't
embarrassing.
bring that in here?
That's just weird.
That's weird.
It was before I knew you. Before I knew you.
Wow.
Sheryl Crow. That's
yeah,
weird.
she's not wrong. Not wrong.
I have 3 words. Get a life. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
She's
That
also
is just like
not
not
wrong.
nice.
All you want to do is have some fun. Sheryl.
Oh, that was clever.
Boy, no one's ever done that before.
That's
has it?
right.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay.
I got that from an Elon Musk when my car wouldn't work. Did you see that? Yeah. And
Nice.
somebody was like, I was like, how do I get my car to run? The screen's black. And they're like, all I want to do is drive my car. I was like, oh, that's clever. Okay, sorry.
Put
Carry
together
on.
2 songs together.
But you know
That's
what?
great.
It bought you that Tesla.
It did. And
Yeah,
you know
it
what?
did.
Another one was like, oh, your Tesla's your favorite mistake. Bum, bum, ba-dum.
That one was better.
That was good.
That was
And I
better.
changed it to you good.
Did you actually talk to him ever on the phone?
No,
Oh, he
but we
just give
tweeted.
you-
I had a couple of really good ideas for him. Like he should put it on the app that you can change your screen color. Anyway,
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I mean, unless you have narcolepsy, I don't know what.
And she actually has narcolepsy.
I
It'll be
actually
the
did.
best. Like no one knows.
wow, you really hurt me.
Hey, you know what you didn't know about Sheryl Crow? She has narcolepsy.
All right, Sheryl Crow's a guest. She's been working on something that is super cool that involves, I think, one of everyone's favorites.
So we'll let her nap for a couple minutes and then we'll come
Yeah,
right back.
you guys do a recap.
Yeah, we'll come right back. Sheryl Crow in the studio. So tell us about this song and how this all came about. No one knows anything about it. You just give it like you're telling us for the first time.
Okay. In 1995 or 96, I actually need to look it up, but I went to Bosnia. War had really kind of
Just tore up their country.
Yeah,
bad.
and tore up the villages, and the people were suffering from it. And so I came home, and I was really affected by what I'd seen there. And on TV, all they were covering was this genocide in Rwanda, and yet we had no presence there. We didn't go in with our troops or any sort of aid to actually help these people. And I was very disturbed by it, and I wound up writing a song, which you do, about what I'd seen and why it is that we would invest our human help and also our financial help into a place like Bosnia and not do that same for a third world country like Rwanda. And the outcome of that was this song called Redemption Day. And I put it out, and there were hits off that record, but that obviously would not have been one of them. So there were people that heard it. But years later, I was dear friends with Johnny Cash and June Carter, and June had passed. And I got a call from Johnny Cash's son-in-law saying, I played this song Redemption Day for my father-in-law, Johnny, and he wants to record it. So he called me. Just hold my calls. He called me, and he asked me all kinds of questions about what different lyrics meant so that he could sing it and really be behind it, and he did. And
So he wanted your interpretation of...
Yeah, he loved the song, and he said, I'm going to make this the cornerstone of my album. And he did actually ultimately record it, like immediately after, sent it to me, called me to make sure I liked it, and then a few months later he passed. And so I'm doing this project, and it just seemed like the right time for this song to have a rebirth. And his family was extremely generous in letting me have the vocal from his version, and we combined him and I rewrote the song. And it's very powerful. For one thing, this man was larger than life, and he was just such a great American and very outspoken, and was a very vital artist in what was going on in our collective consciousness. But at the same time, even though he was so larger than life, he had a lot of temptations and a lot of struggles of his own that I think a lot of people can relate to. And he, through his vulnerability, gave his life over to Christ. And so the song really, I think, has more meaning now for what's going on in the world and for us as Americans than it would have even had when I put it out and when he put it out. So that's what the song is and what it's about and what it stands for. And
I was going to say, the video. There's a video that goes with it. We watched a little bit of it, and it's really powerful. I mean, you just like all the footage, through history and and a lot of heartache and just.
Well, the idea of it, and it does sound like a downer, but the idea of it is that everything that we do, our children witness, and all the way back to the beginning of time. We model for them who they will ultimately become, how they will think, their level of compassion and empathy. And this child is watching this huge string of what's happened throughout history, and that's what has happened. And we're now at a point where we're trying to teach our kids, you never lie, you always tell the truth, you love your neighbor as yourself, just like the Bible says. And yet what we're modeling, I can't even turn the TV on for my kids because I don't want my kids to hear the kind of ugliness that has become a part of our vernacular, Yeah. And so the song is hopeful. It's about ultimately we will, stand in front of our maker and we will, be defined by our actions and how much love we gave. And so hopefully people will watch it and it will just give them a little bit of pause as to how we start to model for our kids and our communities, that kind of thing.
That'll be on the new album, which is coming out sometime this year?
Yes, it will definitely be out. I don't know the exact date, but probably the end of summer.
Okay. So
The
pretty
single
soon.
is available for download and streaming and all that, plus the video and everything, so people can go and check it out now.
Absolutely.
So the
Yes.
video's on your site?
Yeah,
YouTube,
exactly.
Everywhere you watch
Everywhere
videos.
you watch
wherever you watch
videos for
videos, you'll see it.
anything.
That's right.
All right, we'll come
That's
back. Cheryl does have some news, I understand. We'll talk about that and catch up more with Sheryl Crow next. Sheryl Crow is in the studio joining us as this new album that you've been working on for 4 years or so is coming out at the sometime in the summer, end of summer. Don't have a name yet, right?
Yes, it's called Threads.
Oh, Threads.
Yes, and the
Studio.
idea of it is that it's a very collaborative record. I've asked people to be on it that inspired me before I ever knew them, the people I've worked with that I've loved, and even young people that inspire me now.
Isn't that cool to go back, you ever look in your phone and you go like, oh my gosh, I
know this person.
I have Keith Richards' phone number.
It's crazy. And I have actually a couple of phone numbers in here of, high profile people who have passed, and I can't take their numbers down.
I don't delete
Never.
dead friends or family's numbers at all. I
No,
just think
'cause
it's
then
a bad thing.
It's a bad juju.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
But yeah, I have people, I still, even working, I recorded with Keith Richards, who I've known for, almost 27 years. And still I get that same sensation where I'm holding, sticky fingers or, and it's like, oh my God, this is the dude, man. This is
So
the
that's
guy.
that's your Stones album is Sticky Fingers?
No, Beggar's Banquet is probably my
Some
big
girls,
one.
that was my jam.
Some girls, they're all great. Let It Bleed was a big one for me.
Patrick's
Let It
like,
Bleed is
"Whoa."
my album. Yeah.
I know songs.
You didn't like the
guys lost
Stones,
me.
did you?
I like the Stones as much as anybody else.
Whatever.
I like,
You know what
I know
you
the
know what I
songs.
like
Whatever.
I know what albums they're on.
I became a Stones fan, not with Start Me Up and all that. When I heard Shattered for the first time, I went, wow, this is fun.
Shadoobie.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
Shadoobie.
fun. It's cool. It's kind of...
Carson had her
Oh, yeah.
tickets and everything for the
Yeah,
for
I
the
was going to the
show.
Boston show. I'm
And-
just waiting.
Oh, and they canceled.
Yeah, they're rescheduling.
Yeah, yeah,
Mick
yeah.
will be
Yeah, yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
Mick
Mick's
and
gonna be
Keith
fine.
are going to outlive us all. It's fine.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's fine.
So, give me the nod, yes or no. Is
Okay.
this your last?
This is my last album, ostensibly. Can I throw
What'd you
that in
say?
there?
Ostensibly?
Ostensibly. As it stands for right now, this is my last album.
What would make you do another album?
$10 million. Yeah, I'll tell you what, for albums to come back and for all streaming services to go away.
So you're... Oh, wow.
You just don't
Yeah,
think
see, it's not gonna
albums
happen.
are a
I
viable
think, no.
thing anymore?
I think
Yeah.
they're an archaic
So
art
we've moved
form.
on to singles.
Well, how many of you guys read the newspaper instead of looking at Twitter and online news?
Yeah, no.
So that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
So instead of adjusting to it, you just want to say, no, I'm not going to play that game, which is fair. You can do that.
Actually, at this age, I can kind of do whatever I dang well please.
Right.
You spend so much time and so much money making records, sequencing them, making sure the space in between the tracks are perfect. You know, that you've got a beginning, a middle, and end. It's like an artistic statement, and then boom, it goes out and people download a song. So I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm going to put out tweets. I'm going to put out songs that have meaning, that I love, that I feel like this should be out.
So instead of writing a book, you're now tweeting.
I'm going to just
in
put
a
out
way.
a short story.
I think that's
Yeah.
A novella.
Yeah.
And that's
a
good.
novella. Yeah, I think it's good.
So that's what you're going to do moving forward.
Yes, but I wouldn't say to any young artist, don't make albums. I mean, I think it's great to have a large body of work of songs that aren't just
I have a
radio
large body.
songs. Yeah, it's good to have a large body that works.
Well, we didn't say it works.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I misunderstood. For some reason, I thought you were done with music. You're not done with
Oh no.
Just with albums.
music, just
Yeah.
albums.
That would be like cutting off a leg.
Okay, well, that seemed weird to me that you're okay. So, but you decided to do an
Removing
album.
my pancreas or something.
Yeah.
It would be stupid. Why live?
Do you have all your organs?
I do have all my organs.
You never had anything?
I have had. I mean, we're in the trust tree, right? We're safe here. I've had breast cancer.
Well,
So
right.
yeah,
Yes.
I had part of my breast removed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say that here?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
As someone who's gone through it, there are so many women and men. Don't forget.
Yes.
men can get breast cancer as well.
5% of men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have not been tested, absolutely get tested.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
know the terrain of your body.
and know the what?
Terrain of your
Terrain
body.
of
Like
your
if
body.
something is unusual.
Yeah, because you know what? How many people don't?
I know. I'll tell you what, in a few months can make a difference in stages.
Yeah.
So
Well, see, we've covered everything.
Wow,
We've covered,
we have really-
Yeah. That's what we do
Yeah.
around here. Yeah, it's a full service.
I feel good about it.
It's
man.
full. I do too.
Yeah,
I
feel
think.
like
I
we've
think
had
you
a
know.
good
what?
talk. Good talk, guys.
Yeah, maybe you'll come back around. You'll be like, I want to do one more album. I want to do it with you guys. I want to do an album.
I'll tell you what. I'll make an album if it can only be released right here through
us.
Yes.
Yeah, so you'll sell 17 of those.
That's about what I sell now anyway.
Oh, whatever. All right. We will tell everyone when the album comes out. It's called Threads.
Yes.
And
it features, I started with Chris Christopherson. I went and asked Stevie Nicks and Don Henley, and Joe Walsh is on it, and Keith Richards and Willie Nelson and Emmylou Harris and James Taylor and Chris Stapleton and Maren Morris and Brandy Carlisle. And
There's no small names
Margot
on there.
yeah, I saw
Price.
them. They all said no.
Mine's the smallest name on the album. So
whatever.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
it was great. It's been a real project of love and joy. So, and shouldn't that be what it's about?
It is, and it should be.
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow, everyone, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin. I sound a bit boss, but yo, I'm kinda funny, cause you know I laid down the words. I'm no clown, I'm your announcer, David. Some call me Humpty, my daddy calls me Angell. Angel and Big D and Bubba will be right